welcome to the latest Q&A for The World Reimagined. Milena and I are here to give you updates on the project and, importantly, the auction and what's happening in the next month and beyond that. So we are excited. We have lots to talk about. I will start with the updates of what's going on, and then we'll move into the auction, and then we can do the Q&A after that. And obviously, Milena, chime in whenever there's something I haven't said. So, as many of you know now, as it's public now, King Charles is going to visit Leeds and come see the globes. And so we're really excited to be able to share that critically with the monarchy because of the history, obviously. So it's a really important moment, and we are so grateful for the work that all of you have done. We really view you as a collective and as a collection of voices that are speaking to this history really powerfully. So while most of us won't be in the room, we will be in the room in a more metaphysical sense. So I'm excited for that and wanted to thank you. We will also have the Trafalgar Square exhibition, and that will bring 96 of the globes to Trafalgar Square simultaneously, essentially taking over the whole square. And that's also really exciting, again, given the history and what that square has meant about the identity of the UK. And what this project means about expanding that identity and acknowledging the multiplicity within that identity. And I think it also speaks beautifully in chorus with the fourth plinth, which I hope that you'll look online and look at what that artist is highlighting. It's very much in conversation with the history that we are exploring. So it's just an exciting time in the World Reimagined. It is a time where we're juggling everything that's coming at us, and some of the things that are coming at us are this economy. So while we're hugely grateful for the exposure over the next few weeks, we are also aware of the challenges in the economy in the UK. And so what we really wanted to do was make sure that this phase of the project is completed with a real sense of success. And what we worried about was having 89 globes, so all of the globes that are not for the community, out into the open for purchase at once. We felt that that would ultimately undermine the value of each of them. And so, and when I say value, I mean monetary value, not artistic value. But so we wanted to narrow that and really give this the first wave. And so I want to be really clear that this is not the end. This is just how we're managing this phase of it, given where we are in the country and in the economy and in the world at this point. So on November 21st, that will be the live auction hosted by Bonhams Pro Bono. And they have chosen the 9 globes that will be featured in that. And they've chosen it according to what their database is, a database of collectors who are focused on the collection of certain art. And so what they tried to do was match what they felt would work with the audience that they have. What's important to us to get across to everyone is that this is not how we value the art. Each of these globes has played such an important part in telling this history. And that really is the critical aspect for us and for the World Reimagined. We are a charity, so we don't have a model at this point, a financial model where we're able to sustain ourselves beyond the grants and the donations that we have received thus far. So this is part of the economic strategy of being able to maintain the organization. But I just want to be really clear that it's not about how we value the art that has been done, that has been created. From November 17th to the 23rd, that will be the online auction, which is hosted again with Bonhams on their platform. Again, they will support this, they will promote this to their entire database. And so again, the reasons for the certain globes being in the online auction and not being in the online auction are varied. It's not based on artistic merit. There's a handful of criteria and moving parts to make that 9 globes. The reason why we chose the number 9 was because we have used that as our critical number. The journey of discovery is 9, and we felt that that was a manageable amount, the 9 plus the 9 to make 18, that we could really successfully hand over to people who we believe would really take care of the art and be a part of the legacy. So in addition to that, we also have the pre-sales. And again, pre-sales are, we have first gone out to our sponsors who have been wonderfully supportive and enthusiastic about the project, but also financially uncertain. So sponsors are able to engage in and buy their globes. We offer that to sponsors as a thank you for the support when this was just an idea and we didn't have any proof of concept. And so, so some sponsors are able to buy the globes, some sponsors are not, and that has been a process. And so we're still working through that, and we will, by the end of the month, I think, know all of the sales in that pre-sale category. We do have some sales confirmed, and so that's exciting. We will, again, use the same model that we had talked about before as far as compensating artists. So the only change in the model is that we are reducing, essentially removing that threshold that we spoke of before, which was £170,000, 150 for the org, and then the cost of putting on the auction, which was costed out at 20. So that's how we got to the 170. Because of the economic times, we were worried that we could end up either falling short of that or falling just past that, and then the goal, which is critical to us, of supporting artists and supporting racial justice organizations, we wouldn't be able to fulfill that, and we would just end up supporting ourselves, and that just felt incorrect for us. We are really committed to these two other parts of what the auction should always be about. So the shared artist fund, just to break that down a little bit, because it's obviously what is most related to you. What we will do is we'll continue the commission. That will always stay the same. And then once, I guess I should back up a little bit. We will equally divide the proceeds between those three pots, essentially. So there's the World Reimagine, the money that we need to continue some of our programmatic work and make sure that there's the work that we have done in curriculum and the collection, the heritage collection is all readily available for people to access. There's the Racial Justice Fund, which will be another third, and then there's the Artist third. So within the Artist third, we have the commission and we have the Shared Artist Fund. So that's the same, just as it was before we decided to remove the threshold. What in our email that we just sent out, we wanted to make clear is that regardless of how much we raise, we will at least give the commission of £150, which is 10% of the 1,500, which was what the value, the economic, the monetary value at this point of the globes. We will make sure that every artist has that. That we felt like was important just as a base, and that we felt confident that we could cover that. Not to confuse everybody, we do believe we will go beyond that. So that was just really a base level so that everybody knows that they would get that 150. Now, what we expect is that there's the commission that will go to the 18, because we know that we're going to sell all 18. So there's the commission that will go to that 18 who are in the auction, but there will be a surplus, we believe. And that surplus is what is divided into 103 parts, because in the Shared Artist Fund, we also include the community artists. And this again goes back to the idea of the collective and believing in your work as a collective. So so I hope that helps to break down how we have shifted again to try to make sure this is as equitable as possible. A question that we want to also answer is what happens to the globes that are not sold in pre-sale or the auction. Right now, we're trying to get through this phase of the process, but what we are also developing and working through is the exhibition, the potential for exhibiting the globes that are not sold in a rearranged trail or multiple trails. And so that is a very real possibility. And what we would do is have those trails go out to cities post this process, so in 2023, and they would pay a fee that would help support the organization. Because we're reducing this amount that threshold that we thought we would reach easily during the summer, which now we're not sure. Because we're reducing that, we're going to have to find other ways to raise money to maintain the organization. And one of those ways would be to continue the exhibition, have a fee base that then helps support that process. The exciting thing about that to us is that it means that the legacy continues, and that this group of globes would then be part of that legacy and then would continue to be exhibited, and we would have the ability to further engage the artists. I really thought it turned off all my phones. We would have the ability to engage the artists who are in that collection further. And so, again, all of this is really being thought through deeply. Milena and the whole TWR team, but Milena and I are really the guardians of the artistic division, and we are very serious about how the next phase of this is treated. And so, so for us, we want everything to really feel like a success, whether it's the auction, whether it's the pre-sale, whether it's the exhibition that we hope will come in 2023. So, so we will absolutely carry you along in that journey, so you know what's going on next. It has to be, whatever our plan going forward is, it has to be supported by the board. And so the board would vote and sign off, and then we would disseminate all of that information and start working out the details and the plan there. Because the response has been so wonderful to the globes, we feel confident that there would be other trails if we were to offer them, that other cities would jump at the opportunity to feature them. So I'll leave it there. Milena, is there anything else that I should mention?
I think you covered everything, Ashley. The only thing that I would add is that there's also the possibility of having auctions in the next year as well. So this is not the only sale of globes. And as Ashley was saying, we feel very responsible and very honored to have these works in our hands and to have worked with all of you. And the reason why we are staggering this process is skewed from that point of view, from the point of care, and how much we really respect all of you. And we want to make sure that, you know, we are not really just putting the works out there and just get a, you know, very poor response. We want to make sure we get the best response because the work merits that. So I hope you all understand that it is coming from the point of view of us caring a lot for what you did. That's all I would say.
Yeah, thank you, Milena. I see one question in the Q&A. If anybody has any additional questions, please don't hesitate to drop them in the Q&A and then we will answer them. Should I open that question, Q&A question? Oh, it's not a question. No question. So just the other piece of news that I wanted to share today, and that I will put in the email, which will have this as a video, is that we're going to have an artist reception on November 19th at 180 Strand, which is just walking distance. It's about a 5 or 6 minute walk from Trafalgar Square. And for anybody who's not familiar with that space, it is an artist hub, essentially. The owner is a developer, but he has really created an atmosphere where artists are welcomed. And so we are going to have a reception there from 2 to 4 p.m. And we will have a few small speeches, but really it's just an opportunity for you to rejoice in this accomplishment and to meet each other and to have some time together. I think one of the challenges of this project has been the time that it's been in. It's COVID that has dominated the majority of the time that we have been together. And so, you know, and the fact that many of the artists were in different cities. And so we didn't have this chance to really be together many times. And so this is a time to be together. And if you can come, we would be thrilled. It's in the middle of the day for those who are quite far out and who would need to get back the same day, and so we hope that it's a convenient time. And what we'll do is have a group shot in Trafalgar Square at 1 o'clock, so that as many artists as possible can be a part of that and just really record the moment. And then we'll go from Trafalgar Square, we'll walk together and head over into the reception and have some time together. So I welcome you to that. Milena and I welcome you to that. I don't see any other questions. So if anybody has questions, and I say this to the people who are joining us now and the people who watch this later, please do email us. We're very happy to have a personal Zoom where we talk through questions and ideas. And we will, of course, be in Trafalgar Square. I will be there all weekend. So you can always just drop by and have a chat.